Hi boys and girls, this is chapter 11, lesson 4 in math. Today we are going to compare different objects and their measurements using two words, longer and shorter. We are going to take different objects from your book and measure them using either inches, feet, or yards. And then it is going to be your job to compare the two things that you measured, whether something is longer than the other or shorter than the other. So I have some things here at my house that I'm going to use as our sample. Remember, we talked about picking the right tool. So today I'm going to measure our Franklin book and a marker. Now, I have three tools that I could pick from. I have my ruler, I have my yardstick, and I have my measuring tape here. But I think for these two rather short objects, I'm going to use my ruler. Okay, so I picked my right tool. I am measuring in inches. So the length of the Franklin book is 9 inches long. The length of this marker is 5 inches long. So if I were to compare these two objects, I could say that the Franklin book is 4 inches longer than the pen or the marker. Even just looking at them and holding them next to each other, I can see that Franklin is going to be longer than the pen. What we're adding is how much longer. So how many inches longer was the book, which was 9, versus the pen, which was 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. So the book is 4 inches longer than our pen. When you get to your textbook, today it starts on 665. It is asking you to pick two different objects. We would have picked them in the classroom, two different objects in the classroom, so at your house, and compare the lengths. You're going to draw the objects and explain which object is shorter and which object is longer. So maybe you pick a crayon and a book, or two different objects from your house. Then, as we go to the next page, just like I told you last week, if you do not have any of these objects at home, just pick substitutes for them. So just pick something else that's similar that you could compare the measurements. It starts off with our sample, a baseball bat and a golf club. So after they measured, I'm guessing they probably used a yardstick. They measured the baseball bat in inches and got 33 inches, the golf club in inches and got 31. Fill that in on the two blanks. But then here's the new thing that we're doing today. It says the golf club is blank inches shorter than the bat. So how many inches shorter? It was 2 inches shorter than the bat. Your job is also going to be to decide whether something is shorter or longer than the other. So the first one, hopefully you have both of these objects at home, a crayon versus a pencil. You might take out your ruler, measure your crayon, write down how many inches. Measure your pencil, write down how many inches that is. After you're finished, read this sentence very carefully for each of your choices. This one said the pencil is blank inches blank. So since the pencil is first, you're going to subtract pencil minus the crayon to find the difference. Just like up here, we did 33 minus 31 was 2. It was 2 inches shorter. This one will be how many inches, is it shorter than your crayon or is it longer than your crayon? So make sure you pay attention to which object they're talking about. If any of these objects, like this one, you might not have a chalkboard at home, maybe you do. You can measure the height of the chalkboard. Pay attention to where the arrows are pointing. This one is asking you to measure the height of the object, the height of the desk, going from the floor to the top. It is also asking you to measure in feet. So lots of things you need to pay attention to. The labels, this one asked for inches. This one's asking for feet. The second blank on your sentence is going to be the word longer or shorter, because this time you're comparing the objects. So you'll notice there are a lot of different things to compare: a paper clip versus a highlighter, the height of the car versus a bookshelf, a shoe versus a book, and a door versus, and that would have been like in our classroom, our closets, and maybe you have closet doors at home that you could measure the length of. Okay, good luck, and I hope you pick the right tools.